Playing harder these days.
Yeah, look at the
So
Bucks. Giannis's
That's a good
chances are
conversation.
dead.
let's move on to the Bucks. Actually,
Okay.
since you brought them up, is the Bucks season over? They are now sitting at 2-7. The only team worse than them is the Philadelphia 76ers, which we'll talk about them in a second. But the Bucks, the thing is with them, they're pretty much all healthy. Like the nobody's injured. The coaching staff is just bad, I guess. The team is bad. What do we got to say? What do y'all think?
Hell of a
Salute.
ball
Two
club.
new additions. Two new
Hell of a
additions. There's two
Yeah.
men over there.
Luckily, there's 82 games in a season, so I don't think their season is over. Definitely, because you still have the talent of Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's still a top 5 to 3 player in the NBA, and Damian Lillard is actually having a really good statistical season and shooting high percentage. So you still have your two guys that are like playing pretty good basketball. It's just figuring out this, like, getting the others involved and also the sets that you want to run, which comes down to coaching. They don't figure this out within a couple games, and I don't know if when Chris Middleton's coming back, but it seems like he's coming back soon. And if he doesn't help, and Doc Rivers needs to go, and something has to happen from like an organizational standpoint, because the window is closing. You might lose Giannis, which is gonna like deplete your whole organization and push them 5 years back, and that's what you don't want to lose him. So you have to find a way to make him happy and win more games. And I feel like the common denominator is Doc Rivers in the front office. Like, I don't know what he's doing. These guys don't want to. They don't play hard. They just run around. It's as like bad as Steven Silas basketball.
Let me phrase it this way, because this is what we titled it. Are you buying stock on the Milwaukee Bucks, or are you selling him? So you think they'll get better, or you think like this is kind of how they're going to be all year? Maybe obviously not this bad, but like they're just not going to be very good this year.
I'll take 5,000 shares of Milwaukee stock at an all-time low, at a premium. Give it to
Wow.
me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
buying
think they'll
stocks.
be much better.
There's 82 games in a season, and
They'll for sure make the playoffs. There's no way they don't.
Bro, like I think about it like this: if they were
Well,
like,
yeah.
let's say they were like 6-5 or whatever, they had like 30 games in, and they had like a bad 10-game stretch. That bad 10-game stretch wouldn't have put them like far back. So the fact that they have it now, I still think they can recoup and like get a top. Like all they got to shoot for is top 10, and they're not
You're
losing.
gonna put Devin's comments up.
Playing game, they're not gonna do things. So I think they're fine.
I think
The fact that they fired Adrian Griffin, and he had a way better record, is kind of shocking at this
Yeah,
point.
and that's still
the
crazy.
thing
That's
about
still
them though.
like
No, go ahead. Finish what you're saying, Omari.
I just said I said it last part. I was gonna say you should put up Devin's.
Oh, let me see what he said.
That's a good point.
He said,
Because
yeah,
the
they're
East is
still
so
2
bad,
games
like-
back from the 3rd seed. The East is struggling.
Also, a segment we were gonna talk about the East, about like in
The thing
general.
is, though, bro, they're losing to like not good teams. Like, you're losing to the Brooklyn Nets.
The
Like,
Nets.
you can't be losing to those teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you lose to the Cavs or a Western team. That's fine. Like, that's excusable. But you can't be losing to the teams you're supposed to beat.
You can beat the Knicks as well. They lost today.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the thing too is like their roster's bad outside of those 2 main guys. Like Gary Trent has not been good for them. Torian Prince, like he's been okay, but it's like you can't rely on him to be basically your 3rd best player. Bobby Portis is hit or miss. It's like Brooke Lopez looks fucking lazy out there half the time.
Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah, so it's just like
86
the
years
roster's bad. They need young guys and defensive players. Like they started Andre Jackson now. Like that's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, because he gives them energy, which is sad. Because
That's what I'm saying. That's your young energizer player. Like, bro, you guys are cooked.
Okay,
They need a trade.
You have veteran presence. You shouldn't be 1-7 or 1-8, even with older dudes. Like they should be winning you more games. Scottie Pippen Jr.
Shout out to the boy Scotty.
Bro,
The
take
boys
that
been
message off,
hooping.
bro. Take that message off, bro.
You saw that him and his pops first ever triple-double duo.
Sorry, Bronny, he couldn't do it.
He's next.
Bro, I was talking about that earlier. Like, it's just like it was still crazy to me that no one's ever done it. You know what I mean? Like, I know triple doubles weren't nearly as common like earlier than like the 80s and 90s, but it's just crazy because there's so many NBA kids. You know what I mean?
But it's like Del Curry ain't getting no triple double. Tim Hardaway Jr. ain't getting no triple double.
Like Sabonis. People like, I don't know, Sabonis.
Okay.
Or something.
That's a good one.
Like,
Sabonis is a good one. Yeah.
I mean,
Arvidas ain't never got a triple double. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. See? That's
Damn.
what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy to me that there's been so many good like NBA kids but none of their parents have had one before Scottie Pippen Jr. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's tough.
but
Hey,
you
shout
guys-
out to the boy Scotty.
Yeah, shout out.
Real one's been day one. Shout out to the boy.
All right.
Hey, he can bring it on as a
That's
guest
enough.
now that he's
That's
popping.
enough, bro.
So what are y'all two doing? Y'all are also buying the Bucks, I'm assuming. Yes.
Lee and Gabe said bye.
Yeah.
Omari. What do you
All right.
doing?
So let's
Okay,
just
bye.
transition to the